Let's try again. We had issues earlier. Hold on. Let me send this back to the chat. Hold on, guys. Let me send this to Facebook. Wait. All right, I see Daisy up here. All right, cool. Let me, okay, we good. We good to go. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was kind of weird. That was weird. I don't know what that was about. That was kind of weird. That was weird. I don't know why. Hold on. Let me check one more thing, though. Hold on. All right, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to re-upload the links to Instagram and to Facebook to get everything squared away. I don't know why the chat was turned off. It must be super spiritual, but that's okay. This must be a message that really needs to be heard by people. Like I said, it's a brief teaching anyway, so it's all good. Drop some fire emojis if you guys can hear me well. Hit that like button, guys. It really helps out with the video. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, guys, I just been in prayer and really consecration and fasting and things of that nature, and I love it because it just opens your spirit to God, and just such a precious thing to do. So it opens you up to I like to call it downloads. Hey Erica, hey Tanya, hey Kelly, hey all you guys. It opens you up to God, you know, when you're fasting and praying and things of that nature. And he dropped this in me, you know. He says, give them 3 keys, 3 things that hinders godly relationships. And I'm really talking about godly relationships. Some people, you know, use the terminology courtship, marriages, of course. So either you are married, either you are in a godly relationship, you're courting to be married, whatever the case may be, you're desiring to be married. You may already be married, you may already be courting, you may be desiring it. I think this is going to help you out a lot. Like I said, guys, I'm on the way to Boston, so it's not going to be super long. But make sure to make notes of this. It's just 3 things that I want to point out from my experience helping out people within ministry, and from my own personal experience as well. You know, when I see couples having issues and stuff like that, it's usually because of these 3 main components. Of course, it could be many other components. This is not the one all be all, right? But this is just something to think about that God has really downloaded to me that I want to give to you guys. So number 1, once again, guys, we're going to go over 3 today. It's way more than that, right? But we're going to go over 3. So number 1 is communication. How many of you guys knew I was going to say that? Number 1 is communication. When it comes to a godly courtship, when it comes to a godly relationship, even if we want to make it about businessship, you're trying to run a godly business, right? You're a boss, you're a CEO, or you're working for another boss or CEO. Everything stems back to communication. And how should we communicate? Come on, somebody. How should we communicate, chat? We should communicate in the way and whereby are we communicating to Jesus. Not saying that, no, I don't want you guys to I don't want the Pharisees to come on here and take that out of context. I don't want you guys to think like I'm referring to your man or your woman as God. No. But I'm saying with humility. When you talk to God, you talk to God with humility. When you talk to God, when you approach God with an honest heart. When you talk to God, you approach God with love. Come on, somebody. These are the fruits of the Holy Spirit anyway. Did you guys catch that? So it's a what would Jesus do moment when it comes to your partner. So how do you communicate? You communicate like you're communicating to God. You're not communicating to God, but you carry the godly character. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? I bet you some of you guys ain't never thought about it that way. So if you're being godly, right, you're going to have the fruit of God even when you approach God, right? So if God has ordained this person to be your wife or your husband, because that is an ordaining, that is an ordination, right? Then you should approach them as such. You should approach them as a gift. So it's the way that you communicate, which leads me into my point number 2. Now, point number 1 was communicate. Now, I want you to catch this. Point number 2 is how you communicate, which is kind of like the same thing, but a lot of people hear communicate. They be like, okay, well, Prophet Maurice says I have to communicate. Well, I don't like how you did this, and I don't like how he did that. He did that, and she did this, and she did this, and this, and this, and this. Well, I communicated. No. It's how you communicate too. See, people have to catch how to communicate. Why are you communicating to your gift like they're Satan? You don't even communicate to Satan like that. You don't even shoot down Satan's imaginations, but you shoot down the imaginations of your person. I'm on somebody's heels today. I don't know. You shoot down your husband or your wife's imaginations, but you don't shoot down the imaginations of Satan. You yell at your husband, you yell at your wife, but you don't yell at Satan. You listen to Satan, but you don't listen to your husband. You listen to Satan, but you don't listen to your wife. I'm on somebody's shoes today. I knew this was a special one because I was just walking out the house and God says, tell them what hinders the marriages and what hinders the relationships, what hinders the courtships. So what I'm getting at is we need less of us and more of him. Yes, even when we're serving our husband or serving our wife, we should be serving the husband or wife unto God. If we could go to work, see, we got this part down pat, right? Because we want to get paid. Whew. Christians got this part down pat. Well, I work like I'm working unto God. So that means you show up on time. That means you're respectful. That means you listen to what your boss has to say at work, your managers or supervisors. You listen to your employees as a boss, as an employee. You got that part down pat. You serving because you want that check, but you don't see the price. You don't see the value in the wife or the husband, and whereby God has sent you that's really worth more than that job. That's really worth more than that career. Come on, somebody. Is this hitting at somebody's heart? I feel like this is hitting at somebody's heart. Even trying to grow on how you communicate is the tone and foundation and whereby you're going to set for that marriage. Is your marriage going to be built off of strife and arguments and confusion and disrespectful vibes, as the world would call it? Or is it going to be built on the character of Christ? Are you going to be a reflection of Christ within that marriage, for you can have a healthy leaping point off of that marriage, a healthy leaping point off of that foundation? See, how we approach it is how it will be. Come on, somebody. So point number 1 is communication, but I had to bring correction and say point number 2 is how you communicate. So soul ties, ouch. Sure to destroy the soul ties before you get into a unionship with the promise of God. That's in anything that you do. Even in ministry, if you're called to be a minister, I can guarantee you, if you're called to be an apostle, a prophet, a preacher, a teacher, a minister, whatever part of the body that you're called to, God can call you today, right? God can speak to you in an audible voice today and say, you're called to be my prophet. You're called to be my apostle. But I guarantee you, he's not going to send you tomorrow. He can call you Monday. He's not going to send you Tuesday. Come on, somebody. You might be like, Prophet, what are you talking about? Why is that? If God called me, I should be able to go. Well, based off of that response shows that you still got a soul tie. You need to deal with some heart issues. You need to allow God to work on your heart. You're ready to move into a ministry from a rejected place. So if a ministry won't flourish from a rejected place, how will a marriage? It's all relationship, guys. It's all about building it off of the foundation of Jesus. You want to get as much as you out and get as much as him in. This is why we say be filled with the Holy Spirit. From the soles of your feet to the top of your head, be filled completely. Allow your heart to be renewed completely. Allow your mind to be renewed completely. That's what that means. So if your heart is renewed, your mind is renewed, your soul is renewed. The more you're filled with the Holy Spirit, the more you